Hi everyone. So today I have Gabby with me. She is a speech pathologist and a business owner of GRP Speech Pathology in Melbourne. So I thought she'd be able to share with us a little bit about her business and what she does. So Gabby, just talk to us about what you guys do at GRP.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, by the way. It's so nice to be here. Um, so GRP speech pathology is about 3 and a bit years old. We just had our third birthday earlier this year, which is very exciting. And so we are a mobile NDIS registered practice. We see clients from the ages of 7 up to aged care. So that could include clients in schools, in SRS homes, so supported residential homes. It could be private hospitals or nursing homes as well. So it's a really very general caseload. And we love that because it means that we're generalists and we get a taste of everything, which is fantastic. And in terms of our actual practice, we have a fantastic admin team and a really beautiful team of speech pathologists that are always very supportive and very client-centered.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's a really varied caseload and a lot of experience that student or new grads or speechies would get. So it's fantastic. How many team members do you have?
Yeah, so we're actually growing really quickly, which is fantastic and really exciting. It's a really great team to be part of. And at the moment, we have about 24 clinicians and 4 admin staff. So and growing and counting. So very
Wow.
exciting.
That's great. A team is good because you can always bounce ideas off somebody, or if you're not sure, you always have somebody there to ask, or even if you're just having a bad day, you have someone there to talk to. So it's
Yeah,
really, really great.
yeah, 100%. That's really important.
Would you be open to sharing your recruitment process with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we do things a little bit different at GRP Speech. I really value people. So people being people over just being clinical. So that's really what I look for in a recruitment process. So within the recruitment process, I should say. So from the beginning, I'll just start from the beginning. We generally get a lot of expressions of interest. So I'll start with a phone call and just get to know you on a personal level, see what you're looking for, hear what your experience is, or even if you don't have experience, just hear what your passion is and why you're really interested in GRP speech pathology. And then if you're successful in moving to the next stage, then we'd set up a face-to-face interview. Obviously, this year it's been virtual. Hopefully, in the coming year, it will be back to face-to-face, which is always more personal and nice. And that process is really asking more behavioural questions. So questions that really ask you and test you to give really specific examples of times where you managed challenging situations or manage stressful situations so that I can really get an insight into the way that you function and work in a workplace.
Yeah.
And then if you're successful through that interview process, I'd obviously check your references. And that's where I'm very picky on your clinical skills. So I might check up to 4 references and really dig and deep dive into how you went in your placement and how you work within a clinical setting. So
Yeah,
that if
fantastic.
they're all great, then we'll ask.
That's fantastic. So I
Mm.
think students and new grads need to make sure they have at least 4 references or referees on their resume. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, definitely. And making sure that they're clinical references. So they're not someone who managed you from a distance.
Yeah.
They weren't someone that managed you while you were working at Kmart. They're actually references that are really relevant to the work or the experience that you've had to date.
Fantastic. That's a great tip. That's really good, I think, for
Yeah.
students to know that. It
Hmm.
saves them time and also saves you time hassling them for the reference.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there an example of a behavioral question that you would ask a new grad? Because I guess that concept might be a little bit foreign to them hearing you say that.
Yeah. And maybe I'll just touch on why I choose behavioral questions as
Mm.
something to ask.
Yeah,
And
that might be great. Yeah.
yeah, I remember when I was a new grad, I'd go to quite a few different interviews. I was very passionate about working in the hospital settings, and a lot of the interviews were very clinically focused, and there was hardly anything about the person that you are and how you deal from a compassionate level or more interpersonally. And I think that makes or breaks a clinician and the impression that you make and the rapport that you build with a client. And I think that's absolutely critical. So that's why I put a really big focus in the interview process on behavioral questions. So it's sort of a new modern way to be interviewing. I know a lot of consulting firms use it, but I think it really gives an interviewee and the interviewer as well a really good insight into who the person is. So an example could be, I'm just quickly looking at my interview questions. Maybe how you would define what it means to be an efficient and reliable employee. So that's one that I really like, because it really gives me an insight as to what that looks like for you and whether that's going to be a really good fit for our practice and if that's going to work day to day for us.
Yeah, so I think that's really good, because it's important when you're, as a new grad, as you're going into a team, and also as an employer, it's important that you're both the right fit for each other. And it's not just one-sided where the boss makes sure that, you know, the new grad's a right fit and the new grad just sort of goes along. It's important that it's works for both parties, so it's a win-win.
Absolutely, yeah, that alignment's so important. So
yeah, and often when you step into real life work in that first year, the way it is so full on, like no matter what sort of setting you work in or how many clients you have or what you do or don't do, it's overwhelming because it's just the first year. So I think the way that you're able to emotionally manage that or mentally manage that is really important, and what is one of the contributing factors that makes you successful or makes you then step into that second year a little bit more put together or know what you're doing. So I think that's fantastic that you asked that in the interview, and hopefully if people haven't thought about it, it sort of might prompt them to think, oh, you know, how do I manage this, or how am I efficient? So that's great.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So why would GRP be great for new grads to come and work there?
So many reasons. I think I guess I'm a little bit younger as a business owner myself, and I guess the advantage of that is that I have experienced the new grad feelings and expectations. It is quite a few years ago, almost a decade ago, but I still remember it as though it's fresh in my mind, and that's something that's really important to talk to when I'm setting up a new grad mentoring program and when I'm recruiting for new grads. So I think GRP is fantastic for new grads. We've got a wonderful growing team, so you've always got support behind you. Further to that, we have an allocated supervision time every single week for our new grads. That's just protected time with you and your senior to be asking however you want to use that time. It's there and allocated, locked in just for you. So that's there. And then obviously you've got your team around you that you can call, you can catch up with, you can go for coffee with. There's always that as well. On top of the mentoring program, or included in the mentoring program, we also review all your reports. And I actually think reviewing reports is a even better way than one-on-one question time, because you actually get to see the dynamic in which someone's assessing a client, interpreting that result, analyzing it, and then creating goals as well. So we get a really good insight into how you're really functioning as a new grad, and we can really not pick apart, because that's a bit negative, but really get to work with you in detail into where the areas of improvement might be and exactly where on that spectrum we need to be focusing and creating your learning goals. So that's something that I think we do really differently and really put a focus on. And then we've got a few little fun groups as well that we incorporate throughout the year. So we do have regular team meetings, which are great fun. It'll either be a social event or just a general catch up with housekeeping stuff. But at the end of every single meeting, we have free professional development opportunities.
Okay, fantastic.
So yeah, we had Keyword Sign. We have someone from Spectrum Victoria as well coming to chat to us. So there's always things that I'm looking for to make our team meetings more of an incentive, but also a really awesome learning opportunity. And we've just introduced a buddy system as well. So on top of your senior, you'll also have a buddy that will take, so you don't feel that you have to, prepare or feel nervous or that someone's judging you. You've just got someone that you can turn to, and that's your buddy throughout the year. We actually cycle that through every 3 months. Okay. And then lastly, we also have we call it what did we call it? I think it's called a professional, what do we call it? I'd say the GRP think tank. I always forget that. GRP think tank. So it's when everyone can bring a specific case to the team, and then we just troubleshoot together.
Oh, great. I like that name.
Yeah, the GRP think tank. So there's lots of opportunities for growth and learning, and it's something that we really invest in, not just in our new grads, but throughout the continuum of anyone's experience level within GRP, and that's really crucial for us. So
That's fantastic. I think that's great having a buddy system, considering you've got such a big team. You don't want
yeah,
anyone to feel like they're getting lost, or also because you're a mobile service, it's sort of everyone is all connected.
exactly,
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic. Thank you
yeah.
so much for sharing. That was so much insight into your
Good.
business and sort of how you recruit. Is there any other final words of wisdom that you want to give to our student species listening or new grads?
Final words of wisdom. Yeah, I think as new grads, it's really easy to be caught up in the pressure and the expectation and feeling overwhelmed. And I think to some extent that's really normal.
Yeah.
So just, being okay with sitting with that. But I think if I was looking back as a new grad and also just seeing the new grads that I work with today, I think everyone has something, where despite your experience levels, whether there's zero or there's experience, I think everyone can bring something fantastic to a team. And it's just about, yeah, feel confident in what you can bring to a team and be assertive and, bring your personality, and everything else grows with experience. So I think just be confident, back yourself, and get excited. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably what I would
Fantastic. Thank
say.
you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your little snippets of wisdom and about GRP. I think it's going to be really, really helpful for all of our students and new grads out there. If people want to connect with you or find out more information about what you guys do, where's the best place to find you?
Awesome. Well, Instagram's the best
Yep.
because we're always posting and doing fun things on Instagram. So I
Great.
think it's just grp.speechpathology. Otherwise, our website, or which will have all of our contact details on it as well. So yeah,
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank
yeah.
you so much for talking to us today. And we'll see you guys next interview. Bye.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye.